Okay. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
You guys can start the conversation. Are we canceling spring break, Cancun?
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, I think crazy shite happens everywhere.
It's the Maney and LauRen Morning Show. All the hits. Kiss 95.1. All right, so before we get to the whole spring break to Mexico thing, because spring break is upon us, LauRen. A lot of colleges are bailing off to spring break.
Yeah.
High schools, too. Although
a lot of colleges right now.
Mexico is a college. Cancun's a college spring break town, and people might be bailing off of that because of all the crazy stories coming out of Mexico. But if you missed it last night at the Oscars, Jimmy Kimmel did a great job hosting, moved it forward, gave a great monologue, and unlike you and I thought on Friday where he would come out and immediately talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock, he did, but he didn't do it immediately.
No, it was about like 10 minutes in, I guess.
Yeah.
And I kept waiting for it. And I was giving the kids a bath, and I kept like popping my head out, and I was like, he didn't do it yet to Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I said to Amanda, I go, maybe he's just not going to.
No, he did a lot on it after he hit it.
I thought maybe it's tacky, or maybe if he didn't do it right away, maybe he's not going to do it. But he hit it, and here's what he said.
If anyone in this theater commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor and permitted to give a 19-minute long speech. No, but seriously, the Academy has a crisis team in place. If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing. Sit there and do absolutely nothing. Maybe even give the assailant a hug. And if any of you get mad at a joke and decide you want to come up here and get jiggy with it, a few of my friends are going to have to get through first. You're going to have to get through the heavyweight champ, Adonis Creed, before you get to me.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh before you get to me. Going to have to beat the Mandalorian before you get to me. You are going to have to tangle with Spider-Man.
Fableman, and they showed Spielberg. But, yeah, Kimmel did a good job. And Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was the big winner last night at the Oscars.
I mean, I guess I'll have to sit down and watch it. It looked a little spastic to me, so I didn't know if I could get into it because it like jumped around so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, all right, I'll sit down and watch it.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm like, another year, another Oscar, another bunch of movies I haven't seen that win, you know.
By the way, we're on YouTube Live if you want to join the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube Live, just go look for the Maney and LauRen Morning Show. So March is here, which means many Americans are planning their spring break trips like we were just saying. And the U.S. Department of State is warning about visiting certain vacation hotspots, especially in Mexico. The State Department issued a level 4 do not travel warning for many parts of Mexico.
Oh, okay. I was going to say for all of Mexico?
As of March 9th, many of those warnings remain in place. So today's the 13th. So this article is from 4 days ago.
I know, but if you if I'm a kid and I already have it planned, and then the State Department raises a lot of the cities to a level 4 do not travel, as a dumb kid, I'm probably still going. Like, unless my parents stopped me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of wondering, like, if anybody is changing their Mexico trip plans because of the craziness that has gone on, which is, 2 Americans were killed earlier this month. There's kidnappings. There's a new story of people missing. We have a local story here in Charlotte. It has nothing to do with somebody from Mexico, because there is a woman, Shanquilla, her name is, who went to Mexico with friends and got beat up and eventually died. And there's video of her getting beat up by her friends who are American. But it happened in Mexico, and the Mexican authorities haven't pressed charges or anything.
Yeah.
So Shanquilla's family right here in Charlotte, they're looking for closure to this, and they're looking for somebody to answer for that.
Now, a lot of these cities that have the level 4 do not travel are not Cancun and like Tulum, are they?
Well, the State Department advises tourists to reconsider travel, a level 3 warning to 7 more states, including the Riviera Maya and Cancun. The government urges you to use extreme and increased caution. Now, my family is my extended family, my cousins, and they're all there. They have a timeshare at the Moon Palace Resort in Cancun, and they're posting pictures left and right of them just having a blast on the resort as if there's nothing going on.
Well, there's probably like half the people that there are typically there.
I have to ask.
When you go to Cancun, it's already a dangerous situation because if you're going for a spring break environment in college with your friends, you're probably drinking entirely too much, right?
Yeah.
So your like whereabouts are not like where they need to be if you're in that kind of an environment where there's so much going on.
The State Department says if you are going to go and do some spring breaking in Cancun or anywhere else in Mexico, make sure you travel in groups. Don't carry large amounts of cash. Don't
leave drinks unattended.
That's a good one. Keep copies of your passport, ID, credit card, and debit card.
Yeah, don't carry them with you either.
Keep those at home. Stay within the resort. If you don't know the area, avoid wandering around.
I mean, these are all things, though, that like when Dallas and I travel internationally, this is all stuff that we try to do.
Do you remember the story where when I was down there for spring break in college at Cancun, my buddy was trying to score some God's Good Green Earth, and he said, "Hey, do you know where we could score some stuff?" And the cab driver was like, "Yeah, meet me tonight, 8 o'clock, and I'll take you to score some stuff." And we had a rapport with the cab driver. He had driven us around to a couple different places, so we felt safe in 1995 to go do this. And remember what happened?
Didn't he take you to meet girls?
And prostitutes.
Yeah. And you were like, "No, dude, we just wanted some God's good green earth."
He's like, "Here they are, muchachos for you." We were like, No. You totally misunderstood. And by the way, my friend did end up scoring some God's Good Green Earth, I think, from those women there.
Oh, okay.
So it ended up being a score for them, too. But, yeah, if you're planning on going and doing your spring break, be careful. In Mexico,
download WhatsApp. Like, that's on this list, too. And I think that's a really good thing because, you know, a lot of times you don't know what your phone plan will cover.
Right.
So it's just a good way of being able to send messages when you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then you can see when they're delivered. You get the double check.
In all your world travels, and you have traveled around quite a bit, and I love that about you, is there one certain country that you felt less safe than others?
So I had an incident in India on my way to the Taj Mahal, and I can honestly tell you I've never been so scared in my entire life. I thought I was going to die. And part of it was my fault.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll tell that story on the Wrap Party today.
We'd love that. The Wrap Party podcast is coming up in just a little bit. We'll be on YouTube Live doing it at the Maney and LauRen show. If you missed anything today, including War of the Roses at 7:50, plus Nicole's big scam that she almost fell for, and she's not alone. A lot of people got the same scam, but they both stopped short of falling for it. You could grab that on the Kiss 95.1 app.
Ace and TJ are up next.
Are they?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Unless they're on vacation and I didn't know.
Are they in Cancun? You better check their Instagram. Oh.
You guys want to an update on my arm?
Arm update.
Arm update. Yeah.
It looks
better.
the same.
No, it's getting better. So remember I thought it was like infected and it was like it hurt to touch around it.
Yeah.
That's getting better. It's still really red around the.
Is it itching?
But a little bit, yeah. But it's dried out now because I put peroxide on it. So there's that. Hello, we're on Facebook Live. Or no, not Facebook Live, YouTube Live.
Brad, the engineer, everybody. Say hi to Brad.
Just letting you know.
Your phone thing, they sent the part, they sent the wrong part.
Oh, good.
I plugged in, like, it didn't work with anything.
So how long is it
I
going to
plugged
take
in
for...
one of the Avaya phones, which is a different standard for DOE.
We're getting information on an issue that needs to be fixed.
Back into this is for the newer version.
Just check Amazon.
Maybe.
All
All right, sorry guys.
right,
Okay.
thanks, Brad.
We're having a little phone issue.
And they sent the wrong part.
Yeah. Naturally.
Nice of Brad to apologize.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to a Wrap Party podcast, everybody.
Hello.
So why don't we start where we finished the show, which is the dangers of spring breaking in Mexico. We were reading articles that said that the State Department has upped the safety levels in certain part of Mexico.
So like a level 4 do not travel.
And a level 3 in Cancun, which is where a lot of people will go, this month for spring break. And we were talking to LauRen because she travels around so much, and she is got her passport is stamped way more than mine. And you said that you were in India and actually something crazy happened.
Yeah. So, and again, like, I just want to like preface this with, this is not a knock on India. I lived there for 4 months. I loved my time there, but I did have a really scary incident in one of the smaller towns where it's a little less progressive. Like, you know, women are almost completely covered up, and they don't love visitors and that kind of thing. But you have to travel through this town to be able to get to Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is. Okay. So I had flown from Mumbai, India to Delhi. And then from Delhi, you have to take a 5-hour car ride. There's no other way to get there through all these small towns. And you have to like pay these taxes when you go over each border. And
pay the taxes to who? Like the different tribes or the different towns?
Yeah. So when you cross over, and we didn't drive, we hired a driver. So, but he would have to, sometimes it was a toll booth where you would like just pay from the car. And then this specific time, it was where he had to park the car and get out and go pay the toll and then come back to carry on. So at this point, it's like myself and 2 other girls in the car. And this is a town, and I wish I knew the name of the town. I just know it was one of the smaller towns. You know, when you like think of India, sometimes you think of like elephants and like cobras and monkeys and like, you know, people in the streets.
Like just
and
tons of people.
Yes. So, but that's not what Mumbai is like. I never saw a cobra. I never saw a monkey. I never saw an elephant in Mumbai. Okay. So when we got to this small town, and there were snake charmers and there were people with like monkeys on their shoulders, we were in the car, but we thought it was like so interesting that we started taking pictures of the things that were happening around the car. Well, somebody saw that we were taking pictures of them and came over and wanted money. And we were in like an older car that doesn't have like the automatic locks on it. So we were like, sorry, we don't have any money, like no money,
Right.
you know? And the guy started to get really aggressive, and he started to bang on the car. And then he tried to open the car door. And like, I'm not kidding you, because it was an older car. Like, it's not just like one of those things where you hit a button and all the doors lock. I was on the far side of the car, and there was a girl between me and the door, and she couldn't figure out how to get the door locked.
Oh, shit.
So we're literally holding the fucking door shut while this guy is pulling on it, trying to open the door to get money from us. I've never been so scared in my entire life. I was like, we're not in like a city where they're just going to take you to jail. Like, they're going to handle it themselves. And that's what was so terrifying to me. And this went on for like probably 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh my God, that's a lifetime.
A frigging lifetime when you're terrified, before our driver got back to the car and like got these people away.
He handled it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you
like,
tip him extra?
Yeah. But like, we were like crying, like it was like a whole thing. Like I was so terrified. I was like, I don't even know. I kind of just want to go back to Delhi at this point.
Right.
And we were close enough where we carried on, but it was just like one of those things that like we hadn't seen that the whole time we were there in 3 months.
Yeah.
So, we were just curious and like took a picture, and then all of a sudden it like erupted into like this big thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was scary. That's the scariest moment I've ever had.
You've been to Greece.
Somewhere else.
Somebody said Greece isn't very safe.
I don't know. I was by myself in India, so that's, I think, what added to like the terror of what was happening. Where when I went to Greece, we didn't go to the mainland. We were only on the islands, and I was with my 6'3" husband who looks like he played football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Nobody was going to mess with
pick
us.
On you. When I was in Cancun, not only did the cab driver, when we were trying to score a reefer, took us to prostitutes instead. We're like, hey, you know where we can score some? And he's like, yeah, no problem.
He just heard score.
There's 8 girls lined up. We were like, oh, good God.
Yeah.
So you also had to pay daily for like a boogie board.
Okay.
So we were walking along the beach, and I saw a boogie board. So I took the boogie board, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm not going to pay for it. Let me think if this is how it went. No, I think maybe it wasn't just a random boogie board. It was underneath the lifeguard chair.
Okay.
So I was going to take that boogie board. So I did. I took it, and I hit it underneath a bunch of leaves, and like a bunch of seaweed.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'll just pull it out tomorrow. I'll grab it and I won't have to pay the $20 or whatever it is for the day. And next thing you know, I see like 2 flash like, psh, psh, come on. And I was like, oh shit. And I just remember my dad being like, do not mess around in a foreign country.
Where were
especially
you?
Mexico,
Mexico.
Cancun.
Okay.
We're on the resort, but it wasn't like we're in Cancun, just the resort of the hotel. It's not like we're in a special resort.
Yeah. But even if you get in trouble in another country, like you don't know if the country is corrupt and like they're going to want
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So the guy turns on one flashlight, the other guy turns on the other flashlight, and they put it right on me as I'm like, oh, I was like, okay, I'll put this back. No problemo. Speaking broken English and Spanish. I probably had a bunch of daiquiris in me or whatever, and I beat sunburn, and I put it back, and the guys followed me, and I'm like, oh, where's this gonna go? And finally my other friend was like, dude, let's just run. So we ran.
Yeah.
And they never we ran back to the room and like hid. They never did anything. Nothing happened, but it was very strange.
Yeah. And by the way, like just to go back to like how serious the situation was in India. I have been to Kosovo. I've been to Bosnia. I have been to like hot zones.
Right,
I have
like
not
war
been
zones.
as afraid
Yeah.
as I was in that instance.
Yeah. And it's estimated that 350,000 Americans are planning to party in Cancun and other Mexican resorts, with bookings actually up 30% from last year. But the editorial director of Frommers.com, not Farmers.com, but Frommers.com said, I think that some people may cancel their trips to Mexico. I don't think they should, because the vast majority of places where Americans vacation in Mexico are safe. But like we were just saying, I'm just reading an Inside Edition story. It comes down to being street savvy, street smart, and making sure that that when you're out traveling, you're doing it in a group of people, blah, blah, blah. Don't wear jewelry, don't flash cash. Just kind of be smart about it. But that's crazy.
When Dallas and I travel, I wear a fake ring. So that if anybody ever came up to me, I'd be like, here, just take it.
Yeah.
But Jennifer on Facebook Live just said that she went to Mexico City once, and she said she had no desire to go back. But this is just, I wasn't ever afraid. But Mexico City is one of those places where it has the highest rate of kidnapping in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, they'll take you and then hold you ransom for your family to pay or whatever. So I went with the Dolphins when I was like 20, and it was so serious then that they had one bodyguard per girl, not a bodyguard, not like a driver to drive around 6 girls.
Like somebody
that, like,
protect you from.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And you weren't allowed to break off the group unless your bodyguard was with you.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's real life, man. I remember, like, even it was just weird. It wasn't dangerous. It was just weird. When my wife and I went to Cancun on vacation, we took a bus trip out to, like, some ruins. And the bus all of a sudden stops. And we're
I
like,
remember you telling me
that's
this.
weird. And then this guy gets on and starts talking in, like, broken English about how his town that he lives in is very poor and they need money to survive. And, like, basically they wouldn't let you off the bus unless you drop money into the thing. And, like, we were sitting in the back because that's normally where I like to sit on a bus. And I could tell from people up front, I'm like, oh, man, I think they're making you put money in. Like it looks like it's taking so long for people to get off the bus that they're all looking for money.
Yeah.
So I threw a couple pesos in. I'm like, I'm not paying this guy a ton of money. And then when we got back on the bus, the guy wasn't there. But, like, we picked him up on the way to the freaking ruins. You know? Like, the bus stopped, he got on, and he's like, he seemed nice enough, but just weird, man. You know what? Is just be safe, like we've been saying.
Yeah.
And
don't take pictures of anything.
Don't take pictures of anything. Don't carry cash, and don't try and hide a surfboard.
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap party. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. Facebook Live. That's about it for you guys for today, too.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, except for I don't really know how to shut this off.
Oh.
So let's see. Because producer Nicole was not in here.
Oh, well, I'm going to go on Facebook then and say hi to people.
Oh, wait. I figured it out, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.